Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Basically Bali. If you're returning, thank you for coming back to hang with me. And if you're gonna be a new subscriber, please join the family. We're growing. All right. It's been about 2 weeks since I last recorded my video, and I have spent this 2 weeks just thinking about what my next topic should be, and I finally got it. And this topic, I picked it for two reasons. Because number one, I feel like it's personal for me, and number two, I think it's relatable for you guys, right? And if you keep in mind, what we want to focus on this channel is looking good on a budget, because I am all for being on a budget, right? If you ask any one of my girlfriends, they will tell you that Bali is cheap, right? I feel like my middle name is El Cheapo. I am always on the hunt for I'm always on the hunt for good deals, and I'm always looking for ways to save money. So if I don't have to spend money, why spend money? You feel me? So yeah, so with that being said, let's jump right into this topic. Again, this topic is going to be how to grow your makeup collection like I have on a budget. All right, so I'm going to be sharing 2 tips with you today. And literally, this is how I grew my collection to what it is today. But before we jump into that, I do want to put a caveat out there that this will be beneficial for people, for you guys out there who have a steady source of income. Like, I would highly recommend that you have a source of income to go down this route. Like, I don't want to encourage anyone to go out there and get a credit card just in the name of buying makeup, right? Because we want to be responsible. And while this channel is not a financial channel, and I'm not here to share tips on how to build wealth, I do want to keep it strictly beauty related, but at the same time, I feel like I have that obligation to let you guys know, like, hey, there's a way to do it while being responsible, okay? And I know a couple of my girlfriends have this idea that, oh my God, Bali spends a lot of money on makeup, and that is far from the truth, right? As I mentioned, I am cheap and I do buy makeup, but I definitely don't spend a ton of money on makeup, right? So let's jump right into it. Tip number 1, as I think you caught those 2 words in a few sentences ago, credit card, right? Because if you think about it, you're gonna make purchases anyway, so why not spend this money while getting something in return, right? So you could make your purchases on your credit card while getting rewards point that you can then flip into a gift card that you could then use to buy your makeup products, right? So again, keep in mind, if you've got good credit, you've got a good a source of income, then this makes sense for you, okay? So you probably want to focus on, if you don't already have a credit card, which that may not work, because a lot of these credit cards give you that incentive upon account opening. So you could probably look out for one of those credit cards where if you spend X amount of dollars in the first couple of months, then you get X amount of rewards points. And in my experience, personally, it was back in 2016 when I really started falling in love with the idea of makeup. I had just opened my line of credit, my credit card, and I think my requirement at the time was to spend $4,000 in the first 3 months, and then I got 40,000 points, or was it 50? I can't remember, but it was a good amount of points that then translated to a good amount or good value in a credit card that I then used to start building my collection. So again, 2016 met my requirement, and then I flipped, I think it was 40,000 points, but 40, 50, regardless. So the way it works is for every 10,000 points, you get $100 value. So in my case, it was, I think, $400, which I used to buy a Nordstrom gift card. Now, in 2019, would I do that? I would opt for Sephora, because Sephora is where it's at. But back then, I mean, that was what I knew. I went with Sephora, but I know like a lot of these gift cards have, a lot of these credit cards have access to all the stores. So any store you can think of, Sephora, Ulta, Macy's, Nordstrom, Saks. I mean, your options are endless, really. And But you know what? We're keeping it beauty, so I'm not worried about electronics right now. So that's tip number one, is use your credit card instead of using cash or debit, and that way you can earn points, and the more you earn, the higher the value you would have at getting a gift card. So for $400 worth of gift card, I took it to Nordstrom at the time, and I had this thing for Bobbi Brown. My love for Bobbi Brown has since kind of like, but at the time I did love Bobbi Brown, and I remember I bought the foundation, the powder, the highlighter. Can't remember if I bought the bronzer, but I definitely got a couple of her lip glosses, because I mean, till today her lip glosses are still top notch. So yeah, so I definitely got enough of the essentials for me to be able to do a full face. And obviously prior to me going into Nordstrom, I had watched a couple of YouTube videos and made notes of pretty much the items I would need for a full face, because as I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned this already, but prior to 2016, I was that girl that was contented with I was okay with just powder on my face. Like I would literally just throw powder on my face and put my lipstick on. At the time, I think I had maybe 4 or 5 MAC lipsticks, and I thought I was popping, right? My shades at the time were Ruby Woo, Rebel, Diva, and I forgot the 4th one, but those were my shades, right? And I rocked those lipsticks. So anyway, so powder on my face, lipstick, and I was out the door. But I kid you not, at the end of my workday, my face was a grease ball. Like you could literally fry plantain on my face. That's how much oily and greasy I would get. But that was back then. We're here now. We know better. We do better. So yeah, so definitely got enough essentials with my Nordstrom gift card, and I have since started growing my collection. And I'm still growing my collection, but now I think I have a variety. And then another thing I want you guys to keep in mind is makeup is an art. So just like you would have your artists who would have pretty much every color on the color wheel and brushes of different sizes, shapes to get different, effects on their drawings, you can think of that as, in the same concept of makeup, right? I feel like I need a variety to keep me motivated, to get me excited, to, get me to look forward to my next makeup look that I'm going to do tomorrow. A friend of mine has always joked and said, oh my God, Molly, how much eyeshadow does one person need? You only have 2 eyes. Well, yeah, that is true, but as I mentioned, you makeup can get boring, especially if you're only working with a limited number of, products. But, having a collection gives you that motivation that you would need from time to time to, just play around in makeup and try different looks to see what looks good. Like for today, I figured, okay, I want to try purple. I'm not typically a purple person, but, that's why it's fun. You just try and see if it's for you. I definitely will be repeating this purple look, I tell you that. But you get the point I'm making here. Is just that's why I have a variety, is because I need to be excited, I need to be motivated, and having 1 or 2 eyeshadow palettes is just not gonna do that for me. And while I definitely want that variety, I don't want to break bank to get that variety. Okay, so that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is, a lot of people just assume that makeup is expensive. And while that is true, there's a way around that, because makeup always goes on sale. Right now, Sephora, Ulta, they're having huge discounts on makeup products. And I always buy my makeup products when they're on sale. I don't buy anything full price. And please, please don't buy makeup full price, because these products go on sale. There's no point spending $50 on an eyeshadow palette when you can get it for $24, okay? So tip number 2 is to keep an eye out for deals when these stores have a sale. That way you can get more bang for your buck. So say you have a $50 gift card that you would essentially use for maybe 1 foundation and 1 lip gloss. You could use the same gift card to get more. So you can get an eyeshadow palette, you can get a lip gloss, you can get a bronzer for $50. That is a bit of a stretch, but I think it's definitely doable, depending on what brands you're talking about and what deals you're looking at. Okay, so that's one way that you can also grow your collection, is to stretch your money, buy makeup when they're on sale, because I think that, you know, that would help you get closer to having a nice collection than when you buy full price. Okay, and then tip number 3 is to plan ahead of time. I'm a planner in everything I do. So, and what I mean by that is, depending on the credit card account that you have, some of them would do like an electronic delivery of your gift card, right? So one of my accounts, I know I could log into my account, select the gift card value I want, and they would electronically send me the gift card information to my email. And then another credit card account I have, they would literally snail mail you your gift card, right? So me planning ahead, I know that this time of the year, Sephora would have a deal, and I would definitely want to purchase a couple of things. So I definitely went into my account ahead of time and selected my gift card value. I think I did this maybe 2 weeks ago, and I just got this yesterday. So that lets you know, like, again, planning ahead of time. I knew that I would want my gift card to arrive before the sale kicked off for Black Friday. So that's that. I'm trying to think if I've covered all my tips. Yeah, for the most part, the first 2 are really the biggest tips. Planning ahead is just something that I would advise you do, just so you don't miss out on a deal. But the whole point covers just getting a credit card to earn points, and also buying makeup on sale. So so we've lost some lighting outside because it's now dark, but I think that I pretty much shared my 2 tips with you guys as far as how to grow your collection. And please feel free to leave me comments below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you're excited about adding to your collection. And also let me know if you have any tips for me, because I'm also willing to learn from you guys as much as I'm willing to share. So comment below with your thoughts and anything that you're looking for to add into your collection, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye bye.